You have to be ruthless. You have to be cold, clinical, and analytical. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lions from Lambs YouTube channel. I'm Rob Malone, and today I want to talk to you about a crucial aspect of raising children. Guiding them to discern friendships, to weed out and avoid potentially bad influences. As adults, it's our responsibility to ensure that the children in our care are surrounded by positive influences that will shape their character and set them on a path to a bright future. The importance of this cannot be overstated. The friends our children make will significantly impact their emotional well-being, behavior, and overall development. Just like a garden where we carefully nurture the plants that we want to grow and we remove the weeds that hinder their growth, we must be attentive to the relationships that children form. This becomes more difficult for parents as the kids get older, right around the time they become teenagers. And ironically, it's around this time that it becomes so much more important that we've already gotten this part right, because this is when their peer group becomes a significantly more powerful influence in their lives. If your child becomes attached to a bad crowd, it can set him or her down a path that could potentially destroy their life, or at the very least set them back years. Now, we don't usually worry too much about it when they're little. I mean, they're just kids. Of course, so are their friends. I mean, unless a child is just really out there, we don't really notice or pay attention to red flags. But remember, that's because that child hasn't developed yet. And that's what makes it so difficult, but no less important. You see, when kids hit the age of 11 or 12, they begin to become who they are. Their worldly personalities start to emerge. So before you can look at them, you have to look at the family in which that child is being raised. Because while you may have done your job in raising your child with morals and values, other parents may not have been so diligent. And those other parents' children are now taking a central role in influencing your child's trajectory. So how do you protect your child in this sort of situation? Well, you have to start early and you have to be vigilant. When your child is young and starting to make friends, you've got to meet the parents of those friends. You have to evaluate the sort of environments in which those children are growing up. And as unkind as it may feel, you have to be ruthless. You have to be cold, clinical, and analytical. If those parents' values don't align with what you want for your child, you have to significantly limit your child's exposure to their children. And you have to do it when they're young, because when they get older, you won't be able to. Now, I can already hear the pushback. Oh, but what about those children? We can't just ignore them. Let me be clear about a few things that could be misinterpreted. I am not talking about children living in homes where they're being abused or neglected. In those situations, you have a moral and in many cases legal obligation to report suspicion of child abuse to the proper authorities. And it's common sense that you never let your child go to a home where you suspect child abuse is occurring. What I'm actually talking about is families who are not on the same page as you as far as giving their children the best possible opportunities to be absolute lions in life. This doesn't make them bad. It just means they're not considering all the angles that you are when it comes to raising their children. Some people still consider their children to be simply add-ons to their lives rather than the primary priority in their life. Now, some still might say this is cruel, but this is your child. This is the most important person in your life, the person to whom you owe everything. You owe your child the benefit of your wisdom. You owe your child your protection. You owe your child everything you can do to give them the best possible start in life. Your child is your responsibility and your child is your priority. Now, if you teach them to stay away from the troublemakers when they're little, they'll have a much easier time distancing themselves from the troublemakers when they grow up. On that same note, one of the areas we often overlook in our lives is the influences, good or bad, that we have in our own lives and how they affect our children. One of the most effective ways to guide children in any area of life is by modeling the behavior we wish to see in them. Children are like sponges. They absorb everything around them, including our actions and choices. If we surround ourselves with negative influences, we cannot expect our children to discern and avoid those same types of influences. Instead, we should strive to be the very best version of ourselves and hold high standards for those whom we allow around our children. While you may have been friends with Johnny all your life, if Johnny brings bad things, bad thoughts, or bad language with him where he goes, he doesn't need to go around your children. What children grow up around is their normal. You must be vigilant to ensure that you are not inadvertently making the wrong things normal to your child. When it comes to helping children understand the importance of choosing the right friends, communication is key. You want to create an open and non-judgmental environment where your children feel comfortable discussing their friendships with you. Also encourage them to talk about their day, about their friends, and any concerns they might have. Here are a few points we can emphasize while guiding children to discern friends and potentially bad characters. Positive qualities in friends. Help children identify positive qualities that they should seek in their friends. Traits like kindness, honesty, empathy, and loyalty. They're all essential attributes of good friends. Trust their instincts. Teach children to trust their instincts and pay attention to their feelings about a person or situation. If something doesn't feel right, it's essential for them to explore those feelings further. Consequences of bad choices. Without being overly critical, explain to children the potential consequences of associating with the wrong crowd. Discuss real-life examples and encourage critical thinking. Peer pressure. Address the concept of peer pressure and how to resist it. Role-playing scenarios can be an effective way to help them develop the skills and courage to say no when they feel uncomfortable. Encourage diverse friendships. Emphasize the importance of forming friendships with individuals from various backgrounds and interests. Teach them that just because someone has different interests or customs, they can still be a good friend. This can broaden your child's horizons and help them develop a well-rounded worldview. Set boundaries. Teach children about setting personal boundaries and recognizing when others are crossing them. Show them that it's okay to stand up for themselves and to distance themselves from those who don't respect their boundaries. Online friendship. In the digital age, online friendships are prevalent. Educate children about the potential risks and the importance of being cautious when making friends online. Remember, they shouldn't be engaging in any sort of online friendships until they're much older, and even then, they must be extremely cautious. Lead by example. As we spoke about earlier, we must lead by example. Demonstrate healthy and respectful friendships in your own life, and your children will be more likely to follow suit. Remember, guiding children to discern friends is an ongoing process. Be patient, understanding, and supportive as they navigate their social circles. Celebrate their good choices and be there to offer guidance when they encounter challenges. It's not an easy task, but it is perhaps the most vital to your child's future success. A person is the average of the 5 people with whom they surround themselves. You must ensure that your child surrounds him or herself with positive, compassionate, and upwardly mobile friends. Thank you for your time. If you found some value in the video, don't forget to hit that like button and please comment your thoughts. If you like the content of the channel, consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Until next time, take care.